Merry Christmas! I'm trying something new this year. I'm going to share a Christmas story. And this is a story that is dear to my heart because I came upon it when John took me to Germany last year. He knows that I love Christmas in Germany. So we went in December and I went to a little town called Diedorf, where I used to live when I was 18 years old for a year. And I found a new Christmas tradition. They do something called Adventfenstern. And it just means Advent windows, and different people in the community took turns decorating their windows so that on that night, everyone from the community would come and they'd sing Christmas carols, and then they would have the unveiling of the window. And there would be, sometimes there were sculptures, and sometimes there were paintings, and sometimes there were stuffed animals dressed up, and there were stories or songs, and we got to be there one night. And I want to tell you the story that I heard the night that I got to see the Advent window opened. This is the story of Farmer Moore. Now at Christmas time, you can see it in the houses. They start hanging lights outside, they put a wreath on the door, but what really adds the finishing touch is the Christmas tree. And Farmer Moore, he was of the same opinion. And so early one morning, Farmer Moore set out into the forest near his farmhouse to go find the perfect Christmas tree. He grabbed his axe and he took his horse and off he went, traipsing through the snow. And he got into the forest and he looked at one tree, but it was just too skinny. And he looked at another tree that was beautiful until you turned and looked at the big gaping hole on one side. He looked and he looked until he found the perfect Christmas tree. It was so full and lush with green needles, and oh, it was tall because he could hardly see the tip. It was dancing in the clouds. But he just knew it was his tree. And so together they hauled the tree back to Farmer Moore's house. And as he walked, he sang Christmas carols. O Tannenbaum, wie treu sind deine Blätter. O Tannenbaum, wie treu sind deine Blätter. Du grüßt nicht nur zur Sommerzeit, nein, auch im Winter, wenn es schneit. O Tannenbaum, wie treu sind deine Blätter. He sang the whole way. And because of that, he didn't realize the problem he was getting himself into until he was right on his front doorstep. And he looked at his house, and he looked at the tree, and he looked at his house, and he looked at the tree, and he realized it was not going to fit. So he chopped that tree in half and took the bottom half inside for his family. And I tell you, they hardly even missed the top. That tree was so beautiful. It just so happened that morning that Father Bear came traipsing near Farmer Moore's house on his way back home in the forest. And he passed along by the house and he came upon the tree lying there on the ground. He didn't have a tree at his house yet, so he decided to take it home. Father Bear lugged that tree home. Oh, when he got to his cave, the cubs, they were so excited. And they put that tree up, but it just kind of bowed right in half there in the cave. The cave was too small for the tree. So Father Bear cut that tree in half and threw the top half out the cave. It almost hit Bobcat right in the head. The Bobcat just rubbed her head and thought that the tree was a gift from heaven, because she didn't have a tree for her house yet either. She took that tree home to her little bobcat den, and there were the bobcats waiting therein. They danced with joy as they saw that tree. They put the tree up, and there was quite a lean to the tree. It just wouldn't quite stand up straight. So they chopped the they chopped the tree in half and put the top half back outside. Got ready to decorate their Christmas tree. Sometime later, Mother Bunny came hopping by. Now, Mother Bunny had so many mouths to feed that she hadn't even thought of Christmas, let alone a Christmas tree. So when she happened upon this lovely little tree, she jumped right on it, took it on home, knowing that if she didn't take it, she probably wouldn't even have a tree for Christmas. Just so happens that Mother Bunny's rabbit hole was underneath Farmer Moore's house. She tugged and pulled that tree down into the hole, and with all the bunnies dancing around, she scooted them out of the way so she could put her tree up, and it was almost a perfect fit, I promise. But that little tip, it just kind of tipped over there on the top. It looked like a little candy cane on the top of the tree. So Mother Bunny just nibbled off the top of the tree and put it out by the woodpile, knowing that the Moors would use it to warm themselves the next morning. But Mouse had other plans. Mouse saw that little tip of a tree that any one of us would have thrown away and pushed aside. In it, she saw the perfect Christmas tree for her. Mouse took that little tree back to her little mouse hole, which was right in the wall of Farmer Moore's living room. This time, it truly was a perfect fit in her little mouse hole. And so that night, as the Moors sang Christmas carols and decorated their full, beautiful tree with popcorn strands and cranberries and gingerbread men, they never knew that the tip of that very same tree was being decorated by Mouse just inside her hole. And Farmer Brown will never know how many homes he brought Christmas joy to that year. But I hope that we can all spread Christmas joy just like him. Merry Christmas.